Get this, researchers used AI to figure out an ancient tablet that was stuck in a museum storage for ages. You won't believe what it says. Could our ancestors have seen some disaster coming? The text talks about a cosmic event, weird weather changes, and a creepy warning about the return of the Great Shadow. Even the biggest skeptic scholars are shocked. This old script might tell us something mind-blowing about what's going to happen to us. Let's go back to 79 AD. Mount Vesuvius went boom, burying the Roman city of Herculaneum under hot ash. Inside a fancy house, a big bunch of scrolls was burning up, turning into fragile, charcoal-like stuff. These scrolls stayed hidden for almost 2,000 years. Try to unroll them and they'd crumble. Nobody could read them. Until now. In 2023, scientists used AI and a super X-ray thingy to digitally unwrap the scrolls without even touching them. The first word they found was purple. Not a huge deal, but still a big first step. Since then, they've found texts with thoughts on happiness, fun, and music. Some folks think these scrolls might have belonged to Julius Caesar's father-in-law and could hold secret political stuff or forbidden writings. The cool thing is, the AI doesn't just see what's there. It guesses and rebuilds the broken parts, filling in the blanks where time messed things up. It's like chatting with thinkers from 2,000 years ago. And that's just from the first scroll. There are tons more to check out. Here's a strange thing. A lot of the stuff they're finding is about dealing with disaster and death, written right before a volcano wiped them out. Talk about irony. Now, let's jump to South Asia and the Indus Valley script, one of the most confusing puzzles in history. This smart civilization was around over 4,500 years ago, building cities with plumbing better than some places today. They left behind thousands of objects with symbols, but for years, experts didn't even know if it was a real language. Many thought it was just decoration. Then came AI. By feeding tons of these symbols into computers, researchers found clear patterns. It wasn't random. There was a system. Some symbols showed up at the beginning, others at the end, like grammar rules. It was too organized to be just decoration. But it's still tough to figure out. The writings are short, and there's no Rosetta Stone to help translate. Some think these symbols were like ID cards, signatures, or lucky charms. If AI can crack this code, we might finally hear from a civilization that's been silent since the pyramids were built. Imagine that. Up in the cliffs near the Dead Sea, a shepherd found clay jars in caves back in 1947. This discovery changed history big time. These jars held old writings, some over 2,000 years old, now called the Dead Sea Scrolls. They include early Bible stuff and stories. One of the most famous is the Great Isaiah Scroll. Everyone thought one person wrote it, but AI noticed tiny handwriting changes that showed at least 2 people wrote it. You couldn't see it with your eyes, but the AI could. This changes how we think about old writings. Instead of lone writers, it looks like they had a writing center hidden in the desert. And that's not all. The AI is now reading parts that were too faded or broken to read before. These sections have hidden secrets and warnings only for special members of this old group. Were these writers getting ready for the end, running from something, or secretly fighting back? One scroll even tells where to find hidden treasure around Jerusalem, etched on copper plates. The AI found better directions, so who knows? Maybe that treasure is still out there. Over in Central America, in the jungles where the Maya lived, are amazing pyramid cities and really complicated writings. Mayan glyphs are like art and writing mixed together, telling about kings, stars, and beliefs. But after the Spanish came, this writing was forgotten for centuries, and people thought you couldn't read it. The 20th century saw some progress. Now, AI can pick out individual Mayan glyphs from carvings and writings in seconds. It used to take forever to make a dictionary, but AI is doing it now. It can tell the difference between important signs and decoration and see patterns across different things. This is teaching us about Mayan beliefs. Their calendar wasn't just for dates. It predicted the future. Some writings show that Mayan leaders planned battles based on what the stars were doing. Timing was super important to them. With these writings, we're learning about a whole different way of seeing the world. Moving on to the wedge-shaped stuff you see in museums, cuneiform. This was used in ancient Mesopotamia to write the Akkadian language, which was big back then. It took forever to figure out these tablets. Only a few people could translate Akkadian, and it took them months to read one tablet. That's changed now. Researchers have trained computers to read the symbols and understand the meaning. At a university in Tel Aviv, they've made computers that can do more than just translate. They can understand jokes and cultural stuff. This is big because Akkadian tablets have everything from the story of Gilgamesh to legal papers and even beer orders. The stuff about disasters is really interesting. The Akkadians thought droughts and attacks were punishments from the gods. One tablet warns of people on the inside and the fall of society if rules were broken. The medical texts are also cool. They show that Akkadian doctors used herbs and spiritual things, which lines up with modern medicine in some ways. There are even jokes. One tablet has funny wordplay that people might have enjoyed in bars 4,000 years ago. Through AI, these old voices are coming to life, showing us real people with worries, knowledge, and a sense of humor. And now, for something even wilder, what if the first writing system wasn't in Mesopotamia or Egypt, but in Europe? That's what the Danube script might prove. All over southeastern Europe, there are weird symbols carved on pottery. For years, people argued about whether it was a real language or just decoration. But AI might be changing that. By looking at tons of these symbols, AI has found patterns that suggest it was a structured language way older than we thought. Some signs are different in different areas but still follow general rules, which means there might have been a system of communication across early Europe. If this is true, it would change the history of writing. A lost European civilization might have invented writing on its own, long before Mesopotamia. AI is making people take this idea seriously. Could there be even older writings waiting to be found? So, AI isn't just changing today, it's changing how we see the past. From the Dead Sea to ancient cities, AI is bringing back voices that we thought were gone forever. These aren't just relics. They're messages from our ancestors' warnings, ideas, jokes, and hopes. And maybe we should start paying attention. Besides figuring out old writings, AI is also changing how we study languages that people thought we'd never understand. Take the Rongo Rongo script from Easter Island. For years, these symbols carved on wooden tablets have confused researchers. They didn't know if it was a real writing system, a memory tool, or just art. With hardly any tablets left and no way to translate, it seemed impossible.